Okay, welcome to the deep dive. Today, get ready, because we're talking about a car that basically laughs at physics,
Oh, yeah. Which one's caught your eye this time?
the Lucid Air Sapphire. Think about this. Sub 2 second, 0 to 60, like genuine hypercar speed.
Right. But it's also a luxury sedan, isn't it? With, like, actual range.
Exactly, that's the crazy part. Massive performance, serene comfort, and it won't die after 100 miles. Sounds impossible.
Well, apparently not. We've been digging into some recent reviews, right? Autofocus on YouTube and Doug Demuro both got their hands on it.
Yeah, first-hand impressions, no marketing fluff, just what they actually thought driving this thing.
And Lucid positions it as their, ultimate expression, their AMG, their M Division moment, basically.
The Sapphire, no compromises.
So the challenge for you listening is, how do you wrap your head around a car like this? There's so much going on.
Totally. So our job today is to cut through it all, give you the essentials, what really makes the Sapphire stand out based on what these guys found.
Sounds good. Where should we start? The looks. How do you even know you're looking at one?
Good question. Because it is kind of subtle, right? The main thing apparently is the paint.
Ah, the sapphire blue.
Yeah, that specific bluish-green color with those little flecks in it. They said that's the only way to get that exact shade. So if you see that.
Chances are it's the sapphire. Okay, what else? Little details.
Carbon fiber mirror caps. That's a telltale sign.
Okay, subtle performance cue. I like it.
And around back, you've got the actual Sapphire logo, obviously, plus a carbon fiber ducktail spoiler.
Right. Not just for show, I imagine. That points to serious aero.
Definitely. And apparently there's a more aggressive rear diffuser, too, though maybe harder to spot unless you're really looking.
Okay. Anything else lower down? Wheels, brakes.
Oh, yeah. Unique wheels. I mean, mentioned they're staggered 21s in the back, 20s up front.
Bigger in the back for putting that power down makes sense.
And through those wheels, you can see these massive carbon ceramic brakes with blue calipers tying into the Sapphire theme.
Carbon ceramics on a sedan. That's serious stopping power. Needed, I guess, with the performance we're about to talk about.
No kidding. And the tires. They aren't just off-the-shelf units.
Right. I remember reading about this Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, but like custom ones for the Sapphire.
Exactly. They have this mixed compound thing going on.
What does that mean exactly?
So the middle part of the tread is a standard, more efficient compound. Good for range, normal driving.
Well,
But the shoulders, the outer edges, use a stickier compound, like cup tire sticky.
so when you lean on it in the corners, you get that extra grip.
Clever.
Super clever. Best of both worlds, efficiency and track level grip.
That's smart engineering. What about the roof? I know the standard Air has that big glass canopy.
Not the Sapphire. It gets a carbon fiber roof, painted black.
Weight saving, maybe lower center of gravity.
Probably both.
Mhm.
And one review mentioned these little airflow slots integrated into it. Plus, up front, the visor strip is blacked out,
Okay.
and it's got a subtle sapphire script etched into it. So overall, it still looks like a Lucid Air. Sleek, modern.
Totally recognizable.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
a little different. Sharper, more serious, kind of stealthy, in a way.
A performance sleeper, almost.
Sort of, yeah. Oh, and one more thing about the wheels. You can get these optional aero covers.
Perhaps. On a $250,000 performance car.
Yeah, one reviewer called them that.
Yeah.
But apparently they add like 15, 20 miles of range.
Okay. Function over form there, maybe. That's significant range, though.
And they have this little bear logo on them, the Lucid Bear.
A bear logo. Okay, that's unexpected. Quirky.
Right. Okay, so it looks the part, subtly. But let's get to the main event. The power. The numbers are just insane.
Yeah, lay it on us. What are we talking here?
In drag strip mode, we'll get to the modes later, it makes 12,234 horsepower.
1,200. Wow.
Which means 0 to 60 is under 2 seconds. Sub 2.
That's hard to even comprehend in a sedan.
Right. And top speed is over 200 miles per hour.
Just bonkers. What about the quarter mile? That's the EV drag race benchmark.
Low nines. Consistently. And one review suggested it might even dip into the 8s. Straight from the factory.
8 seconds. In a production sedan, that's
Yep.
faster than almost anything.
It's, as one reviewer put it, simply ridiculous. Just astonishing acceleration.
And how does it compare to the elephant in the room, the Tesla Model S Plaid?
Both reviewers seem to feel the Sapphire's quicker, just pulls harder in a straight line.
So Lucid has potentially taken the fastest accelerating sedan crown.
It certainly seems that way based on these impressions. It's a missile.
Okay, fine. It's ludicrously fast. But is it still a Lucid Air inside? Is it still luxurious?
Yeah, that's the other side of the coin. And mostly, yes, you get Sapphire branding inside, logos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, it's actually a bit bigger than the base Air Pure, like 2 inches longer and wider.
Why is that? To fit the hardware?
Presumably, yeah. Wider track, bigger wheels, maybe cooling requirements, stuff like that. But the interior space is still huge.
And materials. Lots of Alcantara, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Steering wheel, door trim, the whole headliner, because remember, no glass roof.
Right, the carbon roof.
And the seats are different too. Sportier, more bolstering to hold you in.
Makes sense if you're pulling those kinds of Gs.
They also have Alcantara centers, blue stitching, and the headrests are adjustable.
Yeah.
Apparently designed so you can wear a racing helmet comfortably.
Okay, they're serious about the performance aspect, even down to the details, but does it still have that amazing Lucid rear legroom?
Yep, both reviewers raved about that. Still best-in-class legroom back there. Something about how the front seats are designed.
That's always been a big Lucid selling point.
Rear passengers get their own climate controls too, touchscreen, heated seats, sunshades. It's still properly luxurious back there.
Good, and storage. Still practical.
Absolutely. Big trunk with a pass-through, decent-sized sub-trunk under the floor.
And a frunk. Lucid's frunk is usually pretty impressive.
Still got the power opening front, yeah. And that clever expanding floor thing to maximize space. Really smart design.
Nice. What about tech? Infotainment. Did they mention CarPlay?
Yeah, Apple CarPlay is there. Apparently runs in a smaller window alongside Lucid's own system.
Okay, so you have the option. And Lucid's system itself.
Generally positive feedback,
Yeah.
responsive screens, looks good. There's also like a hidden storage spot in the back somewhere.
Always useful. And range. We mentioned the aero covers, but what's the actual figure for this powerhouse?
Still impressive. One source said around 400 miles, the other said 427. So over 400 miles either way.
That's remarkable for a car with 1,200 horsepower. Just incredible efficiency.
It really is. Worth noting, though, it currently uses the CCS charging port.
Not NACS yet. That might matter to some people depending on the charging infrastructure where they are.
Right. Could change later, but for now, it's CCS.
Okay, so looks, power, luxury, tech, range. It seems to tick all the boxes, but how does it actually drive? A car this heavy, this powerful, can it handle?
That seems to be one of the biggest, pleasantest surprises, despite tipping the scales at over 5,300 pounds.
Which is heavy, yeah.
Both reviewers said it feels surprisingly agile. A lot of that comes down to the driving modes.
Right, tell me about those. There's more than just fast, right?
Definitely. There's smooth mode.
Yeah.
That's your comfort setting. Still gives you 760 horsepower, mind you.
Still massively powerful.
Oh, yeah. But the focus is on smooth power delivery, comfortable suspension, good for one-pedal driving.
Okay, your daily driver mode.
Then Swift. Same horsepower, 7 to billion, but it sharpens things up.
Yeah.
Heavier steering, tighter suspension feel.
Getting sportier. And then Sapphire mode.
That's the one. Unleashes 1,100 horsepower.
Okay, not the full 1234. We'll get to that.
Right, but 1,100 horsepower, and they described it as a rocket ship on rails. Like, directly comparable to Tesla's Plaid mode in sheer ferocity.
Wow. How does it manage that power and weight?
Seems like a combination of things. The mechanical grip from those special tires, the downforce from the spoiler and diffuser, and Lucid's own traction and stability control systems, which they developed in-house and apparently are very sophisticated.
So it's not just brute force, there's a lot of smart tech managing it.
Exactly. And what's amazing is, even in Sapphire mode, they said the ride is still compliant. It corners flat, handles incredibly well, but it doesn't beat you up over bumps.
That's the holy grail, isn't it? Handling without a punishing ride.
Pretty much. It manages to soak up imperfections surprisingly well, even when everything is dialed up.
That's seriously impressive engineering. What about the track modes? You mentioned drag strip earlier.
Right. There's a dedicated track mode setting, which then breaks down into 3 sub-modes.
Right.
You've got endurance. That limits power to around 700 horsepower, designed for doing multiple laps without overheating or draining the battery too fast.
Smart for actual track day use.
Then hot lap. That gives you almost full power, close to the max, but optimized for just 1 or 2 really fast laps. Peak performance.
Get that qualifying time in.
Exactly. And then there's drag strip mode. That's where you get the full, unadulterated 1,234 horsepower for those insane acceleration runs.
Ah, okay. So the absolute max power is reserved specifically for drag racing.
Seems so. And in track mode generally, they highlighted the torque vectoring system. Really helps the car rotate and power out of corners.
So it's not just a straight line monster, it can actually handle curves too, despite the weight.
That's a strong impression, yeah. It pulls off this incredible balancing act. Supercar acceleration, but luxury car ride and usability.
Even the carbon ceramic brakes, they mentioned those felt good in normal driving, not too grabby.
Right. Huge stopping power when you need it, but progressive and easy to modulate day to day. It's that refinement again.
It sounds almost too good to be true. What about the general feel? Build quality, materials beyond the Alcantara.
Across the board, really high praise there. Both reviewers called it best-in-class build quality.
Better than the Germans, better than Tesla.
That seemed to be the implication. Premium materials everywhere, great fit and finish, no rattles. They specifically mentioned this nice cloth fabric on the lower dash. And that disappearing lid for the center console storage got a shout out too. Just clever design touches.
And the overall comfort, especially in smooth mode.
Compared favorably to a Mercedes S-Class. Even a Rolls-Royce was mentioned in terms of ride serenity.
That's extremely high praise for an electric performance sedan.
It really is. It underlines that duality, the ability to be incredibly calm and luxurious one minute and an absolute weapon the next.
What about the infotainment system again? You said it was responsive. Any other highlights?
Yeah, the dual screen setup, upper and lower, seems to work well. You can apparently swap content between them.
Oh, interesting.
And they really appreciated that Lucid kept physical buttons for key things. Climate controls, volume.
Sometimes touchscreens for everything can be frustrating.
Totally. The screen itself was praised for responsiveness. Even the proximity sensors work well when your hand gets close. Massaging seats are controlled through there too.
Massaging seats in a car that does 0-60 in under 2 seconds.
Okay. Why not? And other little details got noticed, like the unique interior door latches, the illuminated Lucid script in the frunk, even those little bear graphics outlined in blue on the Sapphire.
Yeah.
Just signs of real attention to detail.
It sounds meticulously thought out and executed, which brings us, inevitably, to the price.
Ah, yes. The elephant in the room. It's not cheap.
How not cheap are we talking?
$250,000.
Yeah.
$250K.
Oof, okay. That puts it squarely in exotic supercar territory. Porsche 911, Turbo S, McLaren, that kind of money.
Exactly. It's a huge chunk of change.
So after driving it, experiencing all this, what was the final verdict from the reviewers? Is it worth it? Can any sedan be worth $250,000?
You know, despite that astronomical price, the consensus was
Kind of great.
yeah, really.
Overwhelmingly positive. They basically called it arguably the best overall sedan in the world, the most complete package.
Wow.
A true ultimate car with seemingly no major compromises. It's got the best performance, great handling, amazing practicality and storage, huge range, top-tier build quality, cutting-edge tech.
It does everything.
It seems to come incredibly close. Even the reviewer, who had some minor quibbles about, like, the aesthetics, admitted the driving experience was just too exceptional to ignore.
So the takeaway really is, this isn't just another fast EV.
Not at all. It feels like a landmark. A fusion of that extreme, almost brutal performance with genuine high-end luxury in a way that maybe hasn't been done quite like this before.
Pushing the boundaries of what a sedan can even be.
Absolutely. Which leads to the big question for you listening at home. Does that blend of capability justify the $250,000 price tag?
Yeah, is that level of do-everything brilliance worth supercar money?
And what part of this deep dive surprised you the most? Was it the performance, the luxury, the range?
It definitely makes you think about where high-performance EVs are going and how Lucid is really throwing down the gauntlet here.
For sure. It's a fascinating glimpse at the cutting edge and maybe, just maybe, the future of the ultimate performance sedan. Makes you wonder what's next.